What's up, everybody? Welcome back to more Kansei, the second turn. My name is Raven from the Sky, and let's do this. Alright, so what have we gathered so far? Mr. Auten was scared to see me, but he wasn't surprised. Does he know me? In Chinese mythology, the tiger and the dragon are rivals. They pretty much, just say they. Stops at they. Alright, pretty much everyone knows that Mr. Auten drinks too much. Okay, Mr. Auten has used a lot of underhanded tactics to advance his company, which in turn made him lots of enemies. Okay. It doesn't say that, but using common sense logic. And Liam Auten was participating in dogfighting, which is why Mr. Auten wasn't too fond of him. But we kind of look like Liam. That's probably why he didn't want to see us. Not that he knows us. It's just that, you know, we looked like his nephew or nephew, I think, or son or whatever. All right, so we'll go down this staircase here. A retina scanner. Sophia changed the settings so that it will unlock the door for me. All right, we haven't been here. He was scared to go this way, and we ended up exploring together, and then it just went from there. We never been down here. The cellar. Actually, oh, okay, we have. This is where we turn the power off and on. Okay. The door actually opened. Cool. All right, let's do some examining. Whoa, this box is full of paper. I should look through these. What's with all these papers? They all look pretty old. Experiment results. I don't understand what any of this is about. Maybe I should ask someone trustworthy. I'll take a few of these pages and leave the rest here for now. Nothing in this box. This box is empty. I'm glad it highlights, it lets you know, gives you hints, because really the really advanced point and click games, you can get lost and trapped in limbo. You know, trapped in the first chapter trying to figure out what the heck. In repeat mode, the emergency lights, they're not on right now. I can turn off the house's power from here. I probably shouldn't. All right, so we'll ask somebody trustworthy, but who's trustworthy that we can, you know? Experiments. I'm trying to think though, who. Hallway. That's the hallway we came from. Some sort of art screen. Looks very old. Security pad. That's the door to Mr. Auten's office. It's locked. Of course it is. According to Li Mei, that means no dust settles here. I'm sure it's a very deep and profound statement. Right. So we're done here. We have to go back. Okay. Trustworthy. Conducting experiments. Okay. Was Mr. Auten planning to cut Liam from his will?
He was. Liam's actions were very costly in terms of both money and public image.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Auten wanted to punish him for his cavalier attitude.
Uh-oh.
When Liam took up dogfighting a few months ago, that was the last straw. Last week, Mr. Auten informed Liam that he would no longer be inheriting anything.
Oh, man. But that still doesn't mean he did it, though. How did Liam take that?
He was furious, naturally. He called Mr. Auten a selfish and greedy old man, and he said that he'd make him regret his decision.
Ah.
Mr. Auten never got around to doing it. A lawyer was scheduled to visit next week.
Oh, my. Wait a minute now.
As it stands, all of Mr. Auten's fortune now belongs to Liam.
Oh, my God. It's not what we know, it's what you can prove. We have to prove that he did it. But like I said, he may not have done it. It could have been somebody else, and it can look like Liam did it, going off of what they were going through. Whoever did it knew that, and it could be trying to frame Liam. That way they can get away scot-free. See what I mean? We have to keep digging. Killing someone seems like a good way to get revenge, although I don't think Mr. Auten regrets much now that he's dead. Still, it's definitely something to keep in mind. Right. I'm keeping it. Oh, yeah. Motive and everything. But like I said, there could be another person that's using that whole situation to their benefit. They can get away scot-free because we're looking at Liam. Everyone's looking at Liam. And because it fits the motive. Okay. Do you know anything about any experiment? It could have been one of the experiments. He was experimenting on humans. It could be anything. Anyone. Do you know anything about any of the experiments?
Mr. Auten has run a good number of studies on genetics, but experimentation was more the forte of his old business partner.
Oh.
That was nearly 20 years ago, though.
Okay. I'll come back later.
Of course.
Oh, where's Liam? We need to talk to Liam. Now, Liam Auten was participating. Mr. Auten threatened to cut Liam from the will. That's a new. Dude got coffee stains and everything on his notepad. Man, oh man, oh man. Plot thickens, right? You have anything? No. Okay.
Feel free to come talk more.
Yeah. Who else can we talk to? Where's Liam? Is he in the office? Don't have any other questions for her. Oh, no. No, we've already been here. Kevin smirks at me as I enter.
You're an interesting guy, Kangai.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, for one, you keep some interesting company. I was bored, so I decided to run facial recognition on them. I found quite a few newsreels about them, complete with security camera footage and mugshots. I admit, I literally laughed out loud at the one where they sold ownership shares to the Space Needle.
They did what?
Oh, you didn't know? Like I said, you keep some interesting company. Weirdly enough, when I looked up their police records, they were completely empty. They haven't been charged with anything.
Nothing at all? I wonder how they managed to get out of that. Aki's doing no doubt.
The other girl with you is the real problem, though.
Who, Li Mei?
I couldn't find a single thing on her. No online profile, no yearbook, no images of her anywhere, and no connection to anything your other friends did.
So maybe she doesn't like social networking and she was homeschooled. What's the big deal?
Dude, seriously? You've gotta make a real effort to be that much of a ghost. There's no way that the government isn't involved in trying to cover something up.
You're one of those guys who think the moon's landing was faked, aren't you?
Oh, come on, it's not like that. Besides, how much do you know about her anyway?
Well, I can't exactly tell him that she has a Kansei that makes her a human sponge for emotions. But beyond that, I really don't know a thing. I can refuse to even speak about it when I asked her. I know enough.
Of course you do. You're the genius detective, after all.
Oh no. Kevin taps a few keys on his keyboard, and two of the monitors light up with an old newspaper article.
Genius siblings solve another cold case. I gotta admit, you're actually kinda cool. So are you on a super secret mission right now or something?
Huh? What are you talking about?
You know, since you're using a fake name and hanging out with criminals and stuff.
Yeah, I'm working undercover right now.
That's so cool! Hey, do you think the government would hire me to do, like, spy computer stuff?
I don't know. I guess I'll ask.
Sweet!
Yeah, see, we'll give him he's warming up to us. See, here we go. Do you know anything about William's nightlife? Open up more dialogue, because this wasn't popping up the first time we talked to him. Do you know anything about William's nightlife?
You mean all the drinking and gambling, or extra stupid stuff?
Well, I was thinking about other things.
Oh, the dog fights then.
You knew about that?
Well, yeah. I'm the reason Mr. Auten found out in the first place. He asked me to track Liam's movements on his phone. Guess he didn't trust him. There's a surprise. Anyway, I noticed Liam was spending more and more time in a corner of town that's not really hot on the usual party clubs, so I did some more digging. Found out that Liam was watching dogfights, and in some cases, funding them himself. Big Will was furious when I told him. When you showed up, I thought he had hired a private investigator to get some proof. I guess it's kind of a moot point now.
Alright, that's all for now.
Come by if you want to ask me anything else.
Okay. Right, that's it for that. Right, water fountain. Appears to be a peach tree. Oh, they're light bulbs. Wow.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
Kitchen. Detective Gurski stands across the room from me, arms folded across his chest. He appears to be deep in thought, but it is not long before he notices that I'm looking at him.
What?
Nothing.
Well, that's not true.
Nothing I want to talk about then. He uncrosses his arm and sighs.
I don't know where you've been all these years or why, but that look in your eyes is still the same.
What look?
The one that says you're already trying to figure everything out. It's like watching someone who just started work on a puzzle. You're digging through the pieces and looking to build a frame, but you don't have much yet.
That much is true. I don't remember seeing you before, though.
I doubt you would. We've never met in person. I sure heard a lot about you, though. Both of you.
I suddenly feel my stomach knot up.
Not enough, apparently. I thought you were dead. We all did. Do you have any idea how much work was put into finding you?
Don't even start. I'm not in the mood to hear a lecture from someone who doesn't know what I'm going through.
You know, back in the day, I couldn't go 10 minutes without hearing your names. Oh, they're so great. What heroes these kids are. Why can't we have such helpful people here? What a joke. When we found her body, the first person they looked for was you, but you were nowhere to be found. At first, they thought you'd been kidnapped. As days passed, they thought maybe you'd been killed. When I saw you yesterday, I thought you had finally come back to do something worthwhile again.
I solved that murder for you, didn't I? What more do you want?
What about your sister's murder? You're the only witness, but you ran away. Why?
What? It has nothing to do with you. I don't owe you an explanation. It's complicated.
Things are only as complicated as you want them to be.
Aki told me the same thing this morning.
Then maybe you should listen.
I'd rather you don't get involved. This is something I have to deal with on my own.
Sorry, kid. I'm sworn to uphold the law. Even if you don't want me getting involved, I kinda have to.
I know, just... It's not what you think.
We'll talk about this more later, but I promise that this isn't over. I got a call this morning about my report from yesterday. You've already caused a disturbance with your return.
Oh no, did Schultz find out yet?
Are you kidding? She was the first.
And that's why I didn't want to tell you who I was. I knew they'd all find out I was back.
They'd find you eventually. It was only a matter of time.
Am I in trouble?
Yeah, I'd say so. If it weren't for Aki's insistence that you stay with her, I'm sure they'd already have come to take you back.
This is not good. This is so not good. What am I supposed to do?
Oh, I don't know. Why don't you try actually having a backbone this time around?
Listen, I'm sorry, okay? I was 15 and stupid, and I shouldn't have run away. But can we just focus on the dead body we've got on our hands right now? I kind of feel like we're letting the past get in our way of the present.
The present only exists because of the past, you know.
Gurski studies my face carefully, gouging my reaction. Finally, he sighs and shakes his head.
But I see your point. Figuring out the cause of death for Mr. Auten does take priority right now. I'll be upstairs. Come talk to me if you find out anything.
Okay, now. Do you really think Mr. Auten was murdered? Detective sighs and rubs his temple slowly.
I don't know, kid. I can't just march in and declare it's a murder without any evidence. For all we know, he committed suicide.
Oh, uh-huh. Do you think he killed himself?
Hard to say. His reaction when he saw you certainly was unusual.
Yep.
It's not a level of fear you see in most people. He very likely could have done something foolish in response.
So, you think it's my fault?
Now, I never said that. There are a lot of things that might drive someone to suicide, but in the end, it's still the decision of the individual.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
Back then, didn't you...
Yeah, I did. But I really don't want to talk about it. Found a bunch of these papers in the basement. Any idea what they're about? Detective Gurski takes the sheets from me and pages through them carefully. With each page he reads, his eyes widen. Uh-huh.
He was told to destroy all of this.
What is it?
Old research, very old research that certain people in the government want to pretend never happened.
How do you know this?
It's a long story, kid.
It's not like I have anywhere to be.
Let's put it this way. A few years ago, I stumbled upon a lot of things I wasn't supposed to. Specifically, an old experiment that William Auten was involved with. I got in a lot of trouble for what I saw. I was supposed to be erased from the system entirely, but I was given a second chance, transferred to Edgewater, and stopped the twins who were running around the city causing trouble. They figured if they stuck me here, I'd be out of the way and I'd have my hands full with the twins. I don't think they expected me to catch them so soon.
So you're the one who caught Aki and Naoki.
I was Aki's arresting officer, yes. We technically never caught Naoki.
He got away? I'm having trouble thinking of Naoki as some sort of guy who could run from the law for very long.
Aki went down fighting so that he could escape. We spent 3 days looking for him and not a thing. Then, less than an hour after she cut a deal, he showed up on our doorstep to turn himself in. Like magic. Part of me suspects that she planned it all in advance.
Turns out, Mr. Auten was going to cut Liam from his will.
Well then, that's an interesting turn of events. Do you know why?
It is. One too many run-ins with the law, it seems. The big one apparently was him getting involved in dogfighting. Gurski grimaces.
That would do it. Am I to assume that Mr. Auten never actually got around to making this all-important change in his will?
Yep. Yeah, Sophia said the lawyer was going to come by next week.
Great.
I heard Mr. Auten was conducting genetic experiments on people.
That's a pretty strong claim. Are you sure?
Well, not exactly. I mean, Marissa said there were rumors about it.
Listening to rumors is a dangerous thing.
Yep.
Each has a grain of truth wrapped up in a powerful lie.
Yeah, that's exactly how you explain a rumor. Well, there's enough truth to them that she came all the way here to investigate.
Then let's hope she turns something up. Until then, I'd be wary of believing things without any substantiation.
Yeah. Are Aki and the others really convicts?
Well, technically, no.
No.
They're not on record as having committed any crimes.
Kevin told me they were in the news a lot. He said something about selling the Space Needle.
Please don't remind me. That was one of the bigger headaches, and a huge publicity fiasco. And yet somehow, I'm supposed to keep them out of trouble now?
What do you mean?
I guess you could say I'm their official handler. I'm supposed to keep an eye on them and make sure they don't do anything else.
What did they even do?
Hustling, mostly. The twins ran a lot of cons. Aki's got some sort of charm about her that makes people trust her. She's really manipulative, and her life is nothing but moral gray. Naoki's a good kid, but he'll do anything his sister tells him to do. And he's a fast learner. He can pick up on pretty much anything. They came to Edgewater 2 years ago and wreaked havoc for a good year before we finally caught them. But Aki is Aki. Somehow she managed to cut a deal. Clean records in turn for their special services. So now the government uses them as investigators, spies, or anything else requiring a quick mind and an expendable body.
Ah, that's why she said they are a special investigation agency.
It's not an inaccurate statement. And on that note, be careful about what she says. She's not a liar, but she likes to tell misleading truths.
What about Li Mei? Where does she come from?
I'm afraid that's classified information.
I raise an eyebrow, but I don't press a question. It's obviously not something I want to get involved with.
All right, then.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop it here for today. Thanks for watching. My name is Raven from the Sky. If you enjoyed the episode, drop a like and subscribe to the channel to see us grow. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.